Greetings and salutations, travelers. Welcome back to the Inn of Planar Crossroads, and as always, welcome back to our Around the Hearth discussions. We have made it to our final discussion for our, it's not necessarily a relaunch, but our hopefully rejiggering, reworking of the algorithm's sensing of us and the channel. In January of 2026, we've been talking in world building for this weird kind of, we've called it One Big World, and you guys will finally get to find out. I've been promising my twist that I've been saving to the end. But that'll be for a little bit. We're going to be talking about system and mechanic recommendations for the setting that we've been talking about this whole time. So, before we get into that, we've got myself, Adam, from the Inn of Planar Crossroads, on YouTube and Rumble, probably on Spotify too, I think. That's the plan. We'll see. And then we got Dan from Avenue Studios on YouTube. You can check them out also at avenuestudios.media online. You can check out Scrat from Squirrel Plays exclusively on YouTube. And then we've got Zach, who is also from Avenue Studios.
I thought you didn't clap for me. I see how
I was too slow. I'm sorry. I was trying.
All right.
Too many clicks.
Well, before Dan gets in too much more trouble, why don't you join us around the hearth, grab your preferred beverage, and discuss along with us in the comments or wherever you'd like to the system and mechanics for One Open World. Skål.
Skål.
Roll the intro, Adam. Okay. So we have system and mechanics.
I'll tell you what, I'll go first because I didn't know what to put. Is that the excuse we want to go with?
If you're going to volunteer.
He used the most colors this time in his boxes.
Okay.
There'll always be a reason.
No, this one had 2 squirrels on it instead of 1.
Ooh,
so you were practically volunteering to go first with that.
Mm-hmm. When I saw you putting the squirrels in there, I was like, "Oh, I gotta throw my logo in there." It's such a good idea.
Well, I did it just so we know whose was who.
Yeah, it's so good, man.
Anyway, so this is the episode where we try and figure out, is it both figuring out some systems that would be good for it, as well as kind of hinting towards custom mechanics too, or
Yeah.
we're just still figuring that out? Okay. So, I guess we decided mutations was a cool thing to do in this one. So, I have not played Call of Cthulhu. I am told there is an insanity mechanic of some kind in there. That's something you could use. If there's another system out there that has any type of, I'll say hunger, but not in the sense like basic needs, just something in you that you have to keep under control. Keep from taking over you, that might work.
Corruption mechanics.
If you just wanted, yeah, and if you wanted to use, let's say you're taking these drift glass fish bits and stuff, and if you don't process them right or whatever, you just use them in the raw, they don't last very long. You could lean more Mouse Ritter because it has the inventory system for that. And it's all about just, it doesn't have hard set, all right, you know, if the thing weighs this much, you get X amount or whatever. No, it's just all about what can you take off this creature you just killed? And then here's this, you know, really tight inventory system. You have to deal with that. That would work. Wouldn't be playing as mice, but you could borrow that inventory system right out of there. Other than that, though, I didn't have a lot of systems for this other than setting agnostic things like ye old nuts and tricube tails.
Woo woo. Woo woo.
Yep.
Self-promotion.
Yeah.
I do think Nuts would be pretty good. It handled the supernatural stuff in the cowboy game we played.
Yeah, and Dave over at Grimwood did I think it was a Call of Cthulhu one-shot he took, and we did that.
Oh, I didn't realize it was called Cthulhu One Shot, so yeah. That's
Right,
awesome.
it was very Call of Cthulhu-y feeling, so I don't know if it was a one-shot
Yeah,
specifically for that, or if it was just supposed to be some kind of horror insanity thing, going nuts.
Yep.
But no pun intended. But
Puns are
That one slipped.
always
intended.
Yeah, I like the. We've got Open Legend on here. Is that you, Dan?
Yeah, that's me. Because I agree with Nuts and setting agnostic. Because it just makes it easier. When a system is setting agnostic, there's just a little less heavy lifting you have to do. So Open Legend's an easy choice. Easy to reflavor abilities and tech without needing to homebrew, because the system is designed to do that. It is more... on the surface, it's better for heroic play. So depending on what type of game you want to run in this setting, you might want to make it grittier. So you can. It's really easy to add a mechanic, like Scrat was saying, especially with specific to the corruption and stuff like that. But you can easily lean into lethal damage, fatigue bane, and flaws. And I was thinking as part of environmental stuff too, without having to do too much crazy stuff. I've been enjoying Daggerheart so far too, and it has built into it the campaign frame, which is basically what we've been building. You're supposed to build a campaign frame where you set the world and you can create custom mechanics. It's built into the system to create custom mechanics for your setting. So that's an easy way to adapt. I like the way they do success and failure, similar to Open Legend, but very straightforward of its tiers of successes lines up with the writing trope of yes and, yes but, no and. It's like built into that. So I just like that in general. You would need to reflavor though core abilities, which we've done for Nova Beast. I don't have a problem with that, but I know like Katie, who plays with us, she struggles with that, so I always got to retype stuff for her. So you kind of want to take that into account with your table. Who's comfortable with just looking at the core mechanics of something and throwing out the flavor and making whatever you want, and who's not. Where Nuts, Open Legend, something like that, those systems are made to do that. So, yeah, those are the two that popped out to me.
I would say
I'm comfortable doing anything, but I'm just weird like that. I just throw the flavor out and make it what I want.
One recommendation for keeping it, if you want it grittier, is something kind of like we've discussed before. Like if you wanted to play I think we discussed it in the Neolithic game too, removing your extraordinary stuff and placing that only in the items or in the things that you can do with the drift glass.
Yep, that's an easy customization.
And then you can just keep people's level low, milestone level as they progress through the story. And then the cool stuff that you're able to do is partially because you're you, and the extraordinary stuff you're able to do is because of the glass. So that can be a way of you do that. And that goes for any system that does that kind of thing. I think we needed to mention also Ishanikon, which is...
Yes.
Ooh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Because I think the way we phrased it was, there's crunch up front for a smooth ending, or something like that.
Yeah, smooth finish.
Smooth finish. Up front crunch with a smooth finish.
Yeah.
Or you got to get to the crunch.
That one.
We got to tell Blaze.
That one lets you make whatever character you want, and then playing it isn't really that hard.
Yep.
It's D20 and a D10.
Yeah.
If you haven't tried it, try it, because it is a crazy experience.
It's free.
Yeah?
It's free. Yeah, it's all on a website. It's just its own wiki, so.
Yeah, really easy. And an advantage to a Shanticon, because of that crunch up front, too, you could have a lot of fun with the tech, how you build your character, what kind of integrations or stuff, and it would be, you could really get into the nitty gritty of that if your table likes that.
Matter of fact, I'll self-promote some more. The video. 3 adventure starters, but each adventure, at the end of each adventure starter, show you how to make, the guy who made World Shapers made me a handful of characters for each one of those settings and adventures I made, and I go over them. I don't show you how to make them. That's what I almost said, but no, I go over like the abilities he gave them and stuff, so that will show you
Yeah.
the range, and one of them was a watery one, so.
That's perfect.
Yep.
Man.
For there's the obvious mechanical one, like we've mentioned, of Cthulhu. Though, with this particular type of setting, it seems like we're going more adventurous, so you would probably want to pick Pulp Cthulhu rather than Call of Cthulhu, because Pulp Cthulhu feels a lot more like a pulp adventure, and you're a bit more durable, you have a bit more capability and action-wise and stuff. Your sanity isn't taxed quite as hard, but then also, because Call of Cthulhu, you are fragile, and mystic stuff taxes your sanity a lot. So it would be one of those situations where if you're going to do it in Call of Cthulhu, you'd have to do it in such a way where it was where I guess the tech was newer, it was not as prominent everywhere, that type of thing.
I just realized, I think I did play Pulp Cthulhu recently. Is it a roll under your stats?
That's how Call of Cthulhu is, isn't it?
Are they both? Maybe they're both it.
They're both that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was pretty sure Call of Cthulhu was the D100. And then,
right. And as you level up, you raise the number so you have more chance of rolling under.
Yep. Which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then my pitch for a Cthulhu-based system is Cthulhu Tech, which I think is a really good pick for having a little bit of a crunchier system. It is something that is meant to be tied to a setting, but the setting has several overlaps that I think are well and fitting. Cthulhu Tech is meant to combine Cthulhu with Cyberpunk, which is a little bit ahead of where we're at. So you can take that and you can dial it down to this setting and use the grounded reality that is going to govern the majority of your play. Your spy and your corporate and your intrigue and your politics. The day-to-day life stuff is still going to be very grounded, and the system does very well with that. And then it has, augments and enhancements that go up with technology and also go up with magic. So you can look at spell effects for your cultists. You can look at tech augments for your neon generation. You can look at your gadgets and for
Tide Watch.
Tide Watch, exactly.
Yeah.
For your James Bond style subterfuge and mercenary work. You can also, if you ever did want to get up to like a very, very explosively high range of things, it does have stuff like cosmic horror stats for very, very large things, as it's meant to blend with anything up to the scale of mechs and also Neon Genesis Evangelion kind of like horror and Monster in the Machine level of stuff. But you don't have to go that far. You can keep it to humanoid creatures and mixing and meddling. And interestingly, it also has, for mutations and augments into something that's a little bit beyond human, you can use the Tager blending mechanics to turn yourself into kind of a mini mech by mechanic. You could say, what kind of augments does my tech have can give me? What kind of augments does my fishy thing give me? And you can use their Tager templates to custom build that for your own character. So you can play on a normal human operative level, and you can play on an enhanced level. And yeah, it does also have like sanity trackers and stuff like that. So the mechanics of the game very much draws you into this lull into thinking that it's grounded, and then there are cinematic moments where you have to draw on something beyond, because all of a sudden that grounding gives way and you are facing something that is on that next level, and you have to either get there or find a new pair of pants. And it's really fun to like ramp into that.
And you're fresh out of pants.
And you might be fresh out of pants, or maybe it's just your jive, and you're already ready for this because you're pre-suited up and you've got the augments that you need to face something that's a little bit higher level, and you just got to choose the right time to do it. I will also say that the dice, yes, or wear a kilt, but then everyone's gonna know anyway. It's just how cinematic do you want to make it? The dice system is ridiculously inscrutable. It's a dot-based system that has you rolling not for successes, but for poker hand combinations to beat target DCs. And if that sounds like absolute madness to you, like how would you ever know what you are going to roll? Yes, that is in fact the point. Spray and pray.
That's so cool. I didn't know that.
Well, I was going to say it's nuts, but because the pun would be intended, and it's categorically not nuts. It's not nuts. It's just fun insanity.
Yeah. If you want to run insane mechs against a Cthulhu type of thing, you could do that then. Yeah. Something's coming through that portal.
Yep. If you want to escalate up to mechs, it's in there.
Things got to be bulky. So.
Oh yeah.
I guess that kind of does lead into my. I got two interesting ways you can kind of climax this thing that we're talking about. But before I do that, just some considerations for those that don't want to learn any of these systems and are still using like Pathfinder or something. You can reflavor. Your reflavor is, like Dan said, it's going to take work. So those systems are built for higher level play and a higher fantasy play. You can argue that we're already doing that with some of the weird stuff that the tech is doing, but the thing of this setting is that it's not that everybody has it, it's just that it's common enough where you don't think that it's crazy for this city to have it. Not everybody does have it. It's just that it's not crazy for this city to have it. So it is one of those kind of tech center type of things where you just happen to be where all the tech is. You could, I don't know about the new D&D, because I don't know that you could really do that, because WotC's got that pretty well locked down. So if you're gonna try and do D&D, go older, like 3.5 or 4. 4 might work. 4 might work if you want to play around with like the card system and stuff, the ability system. You could do like exchange. You could actually make it where those temporary things that you do are augments that you can take in and out instead of sticking to a single class. Again, you're playing around with the system a lot to make it do this setting, though.
You can reflavor anything.
Yeah.
It's just how much upfront work do you want to do as the GM?
Yeah. So you can easily turn. I don't say easily. You can turn 4E into a classless system if you do it correctly. but you do have to do it correctly. You can turn 5e would be kind of too really high fantasy to try and do that, especially with all the bloat it has. If you got early 5e, you might be able to pull it off easier. Pathfinder 1e has a lot more customization, still has high fantasy. Pathfinder 2e, smoother battle system probably, but it would be more troublesome. It still has that high fantasy problem. So, you could benefit from using some of the older systems. Some of the OSR systems would be easier to reflavor. So that's something you could pick. Those are my recommendations, I guess.
Yes.
Unrecommended recommendations.
Starfinder 2e and Pathfinder 2e are now interchangeable. So there's some possibility there. You can mix and match with them. Might make it a little easier, but yeah. Not recommendation.
All right. So
have fun. Try something new.
I think this would be a good time since we are. Let's see where we are. We've got enough time I'm going to throw out a couple ending scenarios or kind of end states for this setting. If you guys have some too, you're welcome to kind of throw them out after I'm done so we can give that treat to everybody as we finish up this last one. So, my first one that I thought of, the one I thought of first, I think I'll save to last. The one I just thought of while we were talking was when the mech stuff was brought up. I remembered, we had this, there was this idea brought up of, well, the tech is kind of expanding out, when we were talking about a possible adventure for someone who was modifying their body with the tech, not just the just the biological, but the actual modding tech onto them. And it was expanding out, and now you get to them too late, and they're a torso in a tech wall, basically. What if if you play into the idea of connected consciousness, and you say the human race understands the collective consciousness of the human race that this dust is allowing you to get tapped into, and is modifying your tech and stuff like that, actually wants to survive this coming problem of whatever's coming through that portal. And so it's trying to expand out. Now the humans of the city with not necessarily so Tidewatch would, and the Neon generation is mainly just using the tech, so some of them might understand it. But this consciousness of man wants to survive, and it's connecting everybody and everything in this city, and it wants to connect them literally. It wants to make its mass bigger. It wants to connect all these consciousnesses, these brains, these minds together, literally, because by doing so, the city itself will become one huge, massive mech, including all the people in it being incorporated into that machine through the magic of the tech. And it will fight to protect humanity from whatever is coming through that portal. The coastal clerics understand this and are taking or they have inklings of it, and they're taking a wrong path to get there. The Tidewatch doesn't understand this and is trying to stop it. But the only way that the world survives for humanity is for this city to literally all of these humans in the city to become one part of the machine, merged together, like full-on Cronenberg style with the thing and stuff like that, in order to stop whatever is coming through that portal. So that's one end state. Whether so you're that's a very damned if you do
end.
Yeah, damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. For the city anyway. So that's one ending. If you want to do like a huge sacrifice ending. My other ending, which I thought of before, was that the rest of the world's already gone. And this one big world thing is a lie that everybody tells themselves, because there is no big world anymore. Everything else is... The higher ups would know that this is true. Maybe the people in the coastal clerics, they're kind of the bad guys anyway. So maybe the coastal clerics just want to usher in all of this. They want to fully give in to Nyarlathotep and just go into that. Or maybe they don't. Maybe they just misunderstand. The Tide Watch is trying to keep everybody sane so that it's not complete anarchy. The higher-ups know that the rest of the world is basically engulfed in this kind of, maybe not literal darkness, but possibly. And so this city is the final neon light that's gonna try and live on, and might, if they can last it out. So whatever your players would want to do with that at the end of the scenario. Those are my two ends. My two ends to the scenario. Y'all's will probably be a little bit more grounded. But, so.
I don't know if I have one right now. Those are fun. Those are very Adam, and I love them.
Yeah.
How do you want it all to end?
Yeah, that's about right.
Because and this is just me. This is just my thing. I want to know what the players are interested in, and then I would start leaning that way. I could see it go in a million different ways, but man, it's hard for me to say. Sans players.
Yeah. Well, what would you, like with the first one I said, what would your players do if they learned that they had to basically let the city all become one big biomerge
Right.
to save the rest of the world? Yeah.
Get out of town. Run away.
Your climax is escape the city, let the city save humanity, and you be part of the humanity that gets saved. make it out of town on time. If you think about it, it's still thematically there, because even if the city is going to consume you in response to the threat, it's still the threat ultimately that's coming for you, and that's doing what is happening that's going to kill you. So that's still escape the threat, and then maybe once you're out, then you can have some way of like influencing Miami Flesh Mech Tech Mech into doing
Miami.
something,
Yeah.
But ultimately, when we get to that point, it gives a new meaning to the phrase Florida man.
It literally is Florida Man.
Somehow doesn't already exist.
I love it. If
there was one flesh mech that would make sure not to let that thing come through, it's probably Florida Man.
It is probably Florida Man. Wrestles like an alligator.
Throw him back in there.
I would definitely want, because this is just my style, I would want to be the one that, like, there's the NPC and you sacrifice yourself to get the NPC out. Mm-hmm. Someone you've made a relationship with over the whole campaign, or a sibling or something. Get that nice last scene as you merge into Florida Man.
And however you choose to go out, make sure you're going out to your favorite 70s rock.
Yes.
Well, Florida Man probably would be using all those speakers that he built into some of himself to make sure he was... 'Cause I'm as free as a bird now. Oh no, you know what he'd be doing? I know what he'd be blaring. Come together right now over me.
That's so good.
But it's in like a minor key.
Yes.
It's a dirge.
That's so good.
Oh, that would make that song make a lot of sense, you know? Keeps naming off all the stuff he is.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I might write a parody.
How are you gonna kill everybody, Scrat?
Scrap was gonna let everybody live. What are you talking about?
I thought about all, you know, when we got to talking about the mutations and stuff. See, I originally didn't plan on that, but as we talk more about it, I thought about the fish things messing up with the technology. Like the ones that mutate, they just get called back to the water. Very siren. Just they walk into it and whoop, they're dead. So, or maybe they become the fish monsters, and that's what's been washing up on the shore this whole time. Those used to be people.
Very.
How the cycle started, we will never know.
Very
Could
shadow
be your
over
Twilight
Innsmouth.
Zone ending. Yep. Like a whole bunch of people, just a whole crowd. Like you spend the whole game trying to stop the crowd, but you lose. And then the post-credit scenes is another thing washing up to the shore, and it's just like how it all started.
Ha! That is Twilight Zone, dude.
That's cool. That's a cool ending too. Like the whole city basically ends, and no one knows why. Like you escape maybe, and everybody thinks you're crazy, so you're in an asylum or something.
There's always going to be the crazy one.
And then all of this stuff disappears for a little while, and people go kind of back to normal, and then the city gets resettled and stuff, and it's another thing.
So it would be a long. It'd be a long story, but it starts with the tech not working because the fish things are messing with it. So that tech starts slowly becoming useless and phasing out, and then the people, you know, it ends with everybody just going in the water. But by that point, all that tech is kind of forgotten by that point, or just scrapped. Maybe not forgotten, but then when everybody goes in the water, there's not much history of it, and then fast forward a little bit.
It's cyclical.
Washes up on the beach again. Yep, and it just starts all over again.
Sort of a circle of life kind of thing.
Yeah.
It'd be really cool if you started each session with the same quote from somebody that was about cycles and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right.
There you go.
Scrat at least has some hope in his.
So that's true.
Yeah.
That's a few people survive.
You survive. You're nuts, but you survive. You know.
That might be worse, though. It's like you know the secret and you can't get it across to anybody.
No one believes
You're seeing
you.
it happen all over again. You're living the nightmare.
Oh yeah, and the final like end scene is where maybe he gets to read a newspaper at the insane asylum, you know, or something. A strange object washes up on shore in Miami. Just got to wait. That'd make a good movie. I'd watch that.
Mm-hmm. And at like 1984, where the news is playing behind him as he's sitting there waiting to die.
All right.
My chair keeps squeaking. Sorry, guys.
All right. Well, I guess the squeaky chair is here to announce to us that we need to go ahead and get this signed off on. So, we hope you have enjoyed, travelers and viewers and listeners. Do remember that you can check out both Zach and Dan at Avenue Studios. That's avenuestudios.media or just Avenue Studios on YouTube or Rumble. Either one of those works. You can also check out Scrat at A Squirrel Plays. A YouTube exclusive for him. Unless, of course, you want to interact with his Discord, which he also has. That is it has only squirrels on it. So, as far as I know, it's the only place you can get only squirrels. So, anyway, that's them. I am Adam L. Spain with the Inn of Planar Crossroads. We hope you have had a wonderful time listening to us around the hearth. And as always, have a great day. God bless and enjoy. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
This content was made possible by travelers and viewers like you. Thank you.
I love the fact that Zek's randomly automated name is Amusing Shark. It's perfect.
It's perfect for this one.
I finally figured out how to change my name and I got it.
I was like, I should go in there and tell the guys, amusing shark do 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 do, amusing shark do 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 do, amusing shark do 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 do, amusing shark.
Oh, that's been banned from my house. My daughter asked today. She's like, "Can I listen to Baby Shark?" I was like, "No, never."
That's the
brain rot.
No, wait, that's the literal brain rot song in this setting.
Oh no! No!
Yeah, you just. Oh, you really want to be
Coastal
evil?
clerics chant it.
Okay, I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna save this for when he's back, because I want to hear how evil you can be as a GM with it.
I hate it.
Thanks, I hate it.
I've used brain rot too much for anything my kids want to use now, though, because I'm like, nope, we're not listening to this junk. Choose a composer, you're listening to that. And they're like, that's your brain rot, Daddy. I'm like, okay.
That's not how that term works.
Nope.
And the fact you're not using it right shows.
I'll tell that to Beethoven and Bach. I even let them do John Williams as an option. That's some great stuff.
Well, you're not offering CCR. There's your problem.
Fair enough. I should add that in. My mom likes John Philip Sousa. That's her jam. Marching band. Well, Hans Zimmer. There we go.
Yay. You can do Hans Zimmer. Okay, you're back, Zach.
I am back.
Okay, thought it was funny that your name, your auto-generated name, is Amusing Shark on here.
On Excalibur.
On Excalibur. Your little cursor has your little name by it, and it's Amusing Shark to us.
Oh, weird. Why is it not Tailhay?
Well,
On Excalibur, you gotta do it yourself. So
Okay.
it'll, when you first log in, it just gives you a random name.
we thought that was appropriate for this particular chat. Also, I was like, Amusing Shark do 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 do, Amusing Shark do 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 do.
He's gone.
He left.
Nah, just kidding. Actually, I just needed to
Sorry, I'll
get
be
my
right back.
flavor, my on theme snack, which is of course
Oh,
gummy sharks.
gummy sharks. That works.
So yeah, we're on theme here. That's what it's about. It's always about theme.
Well, I said that would be in this setting. That would be the literal brain rot song. It literally rots your brain to listen to that song. And
But it would be a synthwave remix to it,
a
which I guarantee it exists.
a synthwave remix of Baby Shark.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing that I said would be particularly evil is if you as a GM would really low play Baby Shark through the whole session, and the next session is just a little bit louder, and the next session is just a little bit louder, and then until everybody's playing the game listening to Baby Shark, and they didn't realize the brain rot had set in. And it was environmental
Some kind of
storytelling.
Dark false Hydra thing. That's its song that makes you forget everything.
All right. Appropriately evil GM advice set in.